That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, this is probably my favorite video of the week to make, our buy low running backs. Now this is going to be in the sense that we are gearing up for the fantasy football playoffs. We are trying to get guys that are going to be able to give us production during that time. But guys, please, before we get into it, go down to the comment section. Let me know what kind of videos that you want to watch. You know that every video I make is because of all of your support. So I really want to give you exactly what you want. So go down and you have to let me know, or I'm just going to be guessing. So let's get into this video and let's talk about these 5 running backs. And let's start it off with someone that's not going to be on a lot of fantasy football radars. But I want to make sure if we are going to be making a trade, if we're going to be looking at someone on the waiver wire, our first priority is going to be Cam Akers. And now real quick guys, I know some of y'all are going to roll your eyes just because Cam Akers is not guaranteed to be that league winning running back. He is someone that we cannot project to see in our starting lineup anytime soon. But we are making this move knowing that he is valued currently as a bench running back in fantasy football, currently being valued as an RB4 or an RB5, someone that you're not going to be able to rely on anytime soon. But he does have that insane upside if he does hit it in this Los Angeles Rams offense. This Rams offensive line has actually been a lot better so far through 2020 than it was initially projected to be. Cam Akers is coming off a game where at one point he was actually leading this Los Angeles Rams team in touches. But then, obviously, we saw the game go the way it did. And regardless, I think when we are looking at Cam Akers, we do not even need him to supplant Darrell Henderson, which is entirely possible. We just need Cam Akers to continue to progress throughout his rookie season so he can take over for Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown right now is actually seeing a good amount of usage at the goal line as well through the air in the receiving game. And we know that Cam Akers has more than enough ability to do that same thing that Malcolm Brown is doing in this offense. But not only that, Cam Akers actually provides you a lot more athleticism. So I think if he begins to see those same touches in the offense, he's actually going to be able to provide us a lot more points with those touches. And on top of all of this, we know that the Los Angeles Rams have a beautiful fantasy football playoff schedule where if Cam Akers somehow just says 20% has the chance to take over as a feature running back in Los Angeles by week 14, he could truly be a league winner. And right now, he is going to cost you literally nothing. If you could go and trade a player like Cole Beasley, that's coming off of a massive wide receiver 1 performance for Cam Akers, knowing the overall long-term upside, I think that would make a ton of sense, even though the owner that you're offering for Cam Akers is probably going to be confused, probably doesn't know why you're doing it, but it's because he has the talent profile where if anything changes in his current situation, he could be a league winner, very similar to what we're seeing with DeAndre Swift. Okay, so now our next running back, someone else that I absolutely love, Miles Sanders. With Miles Sanders, guys, y'all know that he has made our buy low running back list for pretty much the past month now. We are looking at Miles Sanders have that elite athletic profile as well as the pass catching ability out of the backfield. And on top of that, we are actually seeing the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line improve coming out of the bye week just because they got their players back. And I know that we saw Miles Sanders get a couple touches vultured away from him. One at the goal line by Corey Clement, who scored that touchdown. 2, Boston Scott broke off a massive run, took away another touchdown from Miles Sanders. But we know that Miles Sanders does profile to be a running back that can get used at the goal line. I have no concerns about that going forward. If you watched my rest of season ranking video on Miles Sanders, y'all already understand that we are significantly higher on Sanders than most people. And also, I think we are just going to naturally expect this Philadelphia Eagles offense to be a little bit better going forward as they are going to get better matchups. They're getting some weapons back like a Zach Ertz, like a Deshaun Jackson sometime soon. And we should see Jalen Reagor continue to progress in this offense. Jalen Reagor is that elite deep threat that is going to make sure that the opposing defense cannot stack the boxes against Miles Sanders. And Sanders is just the overall talent of a running back that could easily be top 3 in fantasy football. So right now, if you can buy him as a low-end running back 1, I think that makes so much sense, and he's going to be one of the most discounted bell cow running backs in the NFL. Okay, so now our next running back, someone that I am mainly targeting because of his fantasy football playoff schedule, Derrick Henry. Now, Derrick Henry's coming off a game where, yes, he did not necessarily faceplant. I mean, he had over 100 yards, but in typical Derrick Henry fashion, I mean, no receptions, so Derrick Henry is going to be extremely reliant on those touchdowns. At the end of the day, though, with Derrick Henry, it's not too concerning just because he's a very, very, very talented running back where he can score from anywhere on the football field. This is a completely different feature than a player like Todd Gurley. Y'all know Todd Gurley I absolutely hate because he's touchdown dependent, but there's a complete difference with Derrick Henry. With Todd Gurley, he needs to be in the red zone to score that touchdown. Derrick Henry can be on the opponent's 1-yard line. It doesn't matter. He could take it to the house 99 yards. He is a threat to score from anywhere. On top of that, we know that Derrick Henry is going to be seeing significantly more touches than Todd Gurley. Obviously, Todd Gurley is worth significantly less in fantasy football. I mean, if you approach a trade and try to give them Todd Gurley for Derrick Henry, you're going to get laughed at. You're probably going to get blocked. But that's not the argument I'm making here. The argument I'm making here is we are not scared of the Derrick Henry profile of a running back if they are getting the elite level usage and they have that elite athletic profile where it really makes them a threat on anywhere on the football field. So with him having a beautiful schedule in weeks 14, 15, 16, I think that we could see a vintage 200-yard game from Derrick Henry where he scores the ball 2 or 3 times. And if you do not have him in your lineup, you are just completely dead in the water. Okay, just like Miles Sanders, this next running back has been on our buy low list for pretty much about a month. Joe Mixon. Guys, with Joe Mixon, I want to reiterate, this is a top 10 running back. I don't care that we have not seen him since week 6. Back in week 6, he showed us the exact kind of profile that we want to be buying. He was getting targets out of the backfield. He was getting usage at the goal line. And what's even nicer about buying Joe Mixon is we are just naturally going to expect Joe Burrow in this offense to continue to improve. Joe Burrow is one of the most impressive rookie quarterbacks that we have seen in the past decade. I think there's no reason to expect this offense not to continue to get better, especially knowing that T. Higgins is as well improving in the offense. So we know that the offensive efficiency is going to continue to improve. The Cincinnati Bengals actually just got back their starting left tackle. Obviously, that's going to make a bullish case for Joe Mixon if he's also going to see that improved offensive line play, because before he went out, not only was he producing as one of the top running backs in fantasy football, but he was doing that with one of the worst offensive lines in football. So as this offensive line gets healthier, as Joe Burrow progresses as a passer, as T. Higgins allows this offense to be a little bit more efficient, I think that with Joe Mixon's workload, with his talent profile, he could easily be a top 3 running back rest of the season. He actually also has a very nice playoff schedule. He has to go up against the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 15, but I believe he has like the Dallas Cowboys in week 14 and the Houston Texans in week 16, 2 of the easiest run defenses in the entire NFL. So with Joe Mixon, he is a screaming buy. Okay, now our next running back, I'm going to have to sneak him in at the end of the video. This is also someone that has been on our buy low list for I don't know how long now. But now you are going to have to be going out there and being aggressive in trading for him. You cannot go in with those low ball offers. If anything, you're buying him high. DeAndre Swift. Guys, with DeAndre Swift, I don't want to spend too much time on him just because he's gotten so much airtime so far through 2020. But I want to reiterate, this is a running back that is seeing all of the valuable touches in his offense. He's seeing the targets out of the backfield. He's seeing the usage at the goal line. He has elite athletic ability. He really looks like a mirror of Aaron Jones or Alvin Kamara. I actually just sent out a tweet where I said DeAndre Swift should have been easily spotted as this year's Alvin Kamara after Adrian Peterson signed with the Detroit Lions. I mean, it was just perfect symbolism where we should have just gone, oh, I mean, there are some parallels here. We made those parallels with Antonio Gibson all summer. I mean, obviously, it's just a little bit superstitious here, but DeAndre Swift truly looks like a league winner based on his athletic profile and now the usage that he's seeing in the Detroit Lions offense. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, please make sure you go down there, go to the comments, let me know what you want to see next, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we will be live streaming every single night this week. I really hope to see you there.